2025 minutes, of which I will recuse myself because I wasn't there. Any comments on the minutes? Additions, deletions, corrections?
Good for me.
Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the minutes of July 1st, 2025?
This is Pete. I'll make the motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, a second?
Second is Bud.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none, motion is approved unanimously with one abstention. Comments or concerns regarding the meeting agenda? If anybody has any comments they'd like to bring up, including those that are joining as participants, or I guess that's just you today, Bonnie. Or anything that should be added or addressed further in the meeting agenda?
I don't have
Yes.
anything. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bonnie.
I don't have anything to add at this time. Thank you.
Yeah, there are two matters that came in last minute that we would need 2/3 votes if the board decided to take on. And they are both requests for exam credit extension, Hitesh Matnani and Adisa Hadzik. So we would like to request those be added to the agenda by 2/3 votes.
Yep, and if you haven't seen them, they're on your email. Okay, do I have a motion to add those items?
I'll motion to add those two items to the agenda, the two extension requests.
I'll
Second?
second that motion.
Thank you, Dan. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. The legal division.
There's nothing today. Thank you.
Wow. That's good news. Okay, old business, chairperson position. As we noted in, well, the last one I was at, I've been chair for now over 10 years. And I think that's overlong, that nobody should be chairman for that long. You get stale and you need fresh blood. We have one person who has expressed willingness to take the chair if asked, and that's Tim. And at this point, I'd like to have any further discussion or anything, anybody that else might have any other thoughts or interests.
I have one question. When would it be appropriate to make a motion to make Tim the chair?
Well, after this discussion, I believe.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping somebody would do that. Technically, it will not become official until the governor approves. And the governor, is that correct, Kat?
Correct. It is up to the governor to appoint, actually.
Right, right. I've sent a communication to the governor through the commissioner's office saying that I wish to that I was getting a little stale here, and I'm probably getting overworked my welcome with everybody on this board. So,
do we need to make a motion, or does the governor simply do it unilaterally?
I believe you did. I know a vote is not needed. It just,
Yeah. Yeah,
It's just
I thought it would just be a good idea to express the willingness of the board, but if it's inappropriate, Kat, let me know.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
Carla.
Hi, I'm sorry. I have the worst time getting on the Teams. so I was a little late.
Teams does not seem to like the Yukon system.
No. Well, that's why UConn doesn't use that system. But anyway, I think that a good way to make a motion would be for to have a motion that says something like the State Board of Accountancy appreciates John's leadership over the years and regrets that his leadership is coming to an end, but wants to thank him for his years of service. And we could approve that, and that would show we are endorsing moving on to a new chair.
It shows either a lack of judgment or you're really that willing to see me go. So either way is fine.
So that will be a motion, and I guess it needs a second.
Okay, Kat, could we turn it to Tim now, or do we have to wait till I tweak them and they get something back?
Well, officially, you are chair until the governor appoints someone else.
Okay.
So I guess in the meantime, you can appoint him to do all the business, but officially, you are still on the chair, you're on the hook.
Yeah. Okay, I will hold for this meeting and presume we're going to make the switch between the next, and one never knows with, depending upon how much business there is going on at the Capitol. New business. We have some.
Excuse me, I made an actual motion.
Oh,
so
okay. So we need a second.
in a passage, hopefully.
I'll second that,
gladly
John.
Okay. Any amendments, questions? Okay. All in favor? I'll
Aye.
abstain.
Aye.
Okay. I guess the motion passes. Now we can move on to new business.
Yes.
Shrabani Singh.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you have the latest agenda. I think the
Oh.
agenda has another act.
I think it's
Sorry.
John to do a quick
Oh,
update
yes,
on the
I'm sorry. I had them both here.
regulations
Oh, no.
committee.
This is the agenda. I'll tell you what, Tim, why don't you handle business today?
Well, no. So I think the next item is just the regulations committee update, and it's now regulations committee. I think we talked about it as being a task force where both Danny and Pete raised their hand to work with me, and also soliciting Bonnie's input on, in light of the additional pathway that we passed and many other states are in the process of passing, there's a need to revisit accounting concentration, within our regs, and other states are doing the same. And so the process that we thought would be helpful was to first caucus other states. What are they thinking about? Are they thinking about changing their requirements around accounting concentration? If so, what are they leaning towards? What have they done? So we had asked Kat to work with NASBA. They do these pulse surveys out to the various states. And this one we had a fairly good response. 28 states responded to the pulse survey, which in light of pulse surveys, they say that's a pretty high rate of response. And of those, when you look through it, and I shared these with Danny and Pete and Bonnie, we still need to discuss them. But what was clear was a number of the states were currently at 24 accounting credits, 24, maybe 30 business. Some have business law requirements, some have ethics requirements. So where we are with in Connecticut, I think as you know, is currently 36 county credits, 30 business and economics. So it's kind of on certainly the higher side than where other states had been under their own 150. And of the 28 that responded, 40% or 11 of them are saying that they are going to revisit the coursework definition, and 17 are not planning to do so. Interestingly, New York had shared, as part of the survey and also on a regional call that we had last week, that they are reducing their requirements by 6 credits each. So accounting credits will now be 27 instead of 33 under
Wow.
the new pathway. And they're going from 33 to, I think 33 to 27 on the business, general business requirements. So they also had shared that, they're under the Department of Education and they've got a lot of data and they've done analyses around this. And under the old 120, there was an indication that the 24 accounting credits would have been appropriate. And that's what it had been before they moved under the 150. But I think their board is of the view that given everything that accountants are required to know and the complexities that are around, that going back to 24 didn't make sense. So that's why they're landing on 27 currently. So I know, Bonnie, you had reached out to some of the academia, maybe have some information to share on this. And I think maybe the next steps would be, Pete and Danny, maybe we chat together around what we're seeing in the data, get everyone's input, and then, as a board, we just need to come up with what we believe is the right decision. Personally, I think, we need to move off of the 36 for sure. And I think thinking about what other states are doing, particularly in our areas, is relevant input when we think about where Connecticut stands in addressing licensure for our licensees as well. So,
Can I
Bonnie,
ask
can I ask you to? Yeah, sure.
Can I just ask a stupid question before?
There's no stupid questions.
I'm just wondering why for these schools, this is such a difficult task when, to your point, like, why can't they just go back to the curriculum that they had before the rules? I mean, it seems pretty simple.
Carlos.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do that little raise your hand thing. Well, speaking
Yeah, I did that too.
former business law professor in the business school and dean of a business school, it's a really big job. It to change a
Oh,
curriculum takes a year. You have
Oh,
to
wow.
have a study committee. Then there starts to be all the political fights, because if you're reducing the number of required courses, that gets into turf, and the auditing professors might not like if you reduce the number of auditing credit hours, etc. It's a big deal, trust me.
Okay. So it's more politically driven, it sounds like.
Well, I mean, it's also academically driven, because there's many faculty members who believe with good reason that quote, their subject is super important and that accountants won't be able to function without their course. And a lot of times that's true, and so believe me, it is a big deal.
Okay. All right. I was just curious because, like, conceptually it seems like it'd be pretty straightforward, like just lop off a few credits and be done. Okay, thank you.
So, Bonnie, could you share what
Sure.
you've heard and learned and your thoughts on the matter?
So unfortunately, we were not able to get the educators together in the summer. Not a surprise. We've tried to do that before, and it's just it's an impossible task. They finally did come together on Friday to have a discussion, but their discussion really didn't go into detail about, I'm sorry, I was not there, so I'm repeating what someone else gave me, but they didn't have all of the information that they really needed. So they were just talking about it, not based on what other states were doing. They talked about what they would like. And their recommendation was to eliminate the general ed credit. They said a lot of states don't have that. We don't need that. The way the world is working, we just need to make sure they get their business and their accounting credits. They're going to get together in November, which is after you already decide what you want to do further, because they all said none of them are moving forward until they know what you want to do. So our educators in this case have are lagging behind, not leading us forward. But as Carla said, it takes forever for them to change their curriculum, and nobody wants to start doing it now just to find out that the rules are not what they thought they may come out to be, and therefore have to go back and start all over again. So the big concern was the accounting and business credits. They felt that those were really important. Not changing experience anymore, but that was already done in the statute. So we're the same as every other state except for two that are outliers. So in terms of where we're at right now, we're not getting the type of information we need from the educators yet. And I think that's going to require a more in-depth meeting where they hear about what's going on, what's happening in different states, and then they can make an educated decision as to what they think their curriculum should be. I will tell you that one of the things that's been so challenging in Connecticut is that our regulatory process is significantly lengthier. So, and we do require regs for a number of things where a number of states, such as Washington State, do things by board rule. And therefore they can literally change something in 8 weeks if they want to, versus us, pretty much a minimum of 2 years if you're lucky. So there are some other states that are like us as well, though, and they are going the route of greater flexibility or wording so that when changes are made, that if it's decided that something within the guidance they've given needs to be modified, they can do that quickly, as opposed to locking in things by naming specific classes or test types, you name it. And we saw that a few years ago when we made some recommendations, when we adopted some of the recommendations that NASBA put forth by not naming the, what did they tell us to take away? I think they gave us something different than the test names we were using, because then they said that it was Dan Dustin at the time, you have to wait and then go back and change all of the regs again to modify a test when the test could be modified at any time. So flexibility, nimbleness, et cetera, I think is just really important, the way everything's moving so quickly right now. And technology is becoming just a bigger part of the practice. There's going to be a lot of changes to the curriculum that are outside of just basic accounting and basic business or just basic general ed. You're going to see that. So that would just be my only ask. And they did identify that too. They don't know how it's going to happen necessarily, but they do see things happening both with the exam, which has more technology in it now, and the types of people they're hiring and the skills they're looking for.
Yeah. I think from the survey, for Kat, you had shared there were only 7 states that are considering specific coursework defined for accounting concentration, right? So sounds like majority are not going that path where they're defining the coursework to offer more flexibility.
Correct. That's what I saw in the survey responses as well.
Yeah. So we have until October 1st is when, right? So we don't have the benefit of time here in terms of deciding what we do with getting this definition in place. So, I mean, Pete and Danny, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the data, and if not, maybe it's something we we convene next week, as our, let's call it our committee, just to talk through it. And John, would it make sense? It seems like we may need a special meeting prior to our November meeting in order to get something presented to the board, agreed and approved.
You're
You're on
muted,
mute,
John.
John.
I know, I'm having trouble finding my arrow here. Exactly. I think we may have to call a special meeting because DCP has noted that they may have some regulatory or legislative change to propose for the short section that they would obviously want to run through with us first. So that was just something that kind of got dropped late Friday afternoon. So haven't learned what or when we can get some people over there to find out what it is. I suggested that to him that we'd wanted, at least bring him in, and maybe it would make sense with somebody from your committee there. I don't know. We can make that decision, and that Kat could make a decision as to whether she wanted to go try to hook in with us, or or just follow through on the DCP side. Personally, not knowing all the internal methodology, I'll leave that up to you. And Bonnie, I think it would be a good idea. I don't know whether they've contacted you, that you got brought into this, but I don't know whether that should be, we should talk after this and see whether that's appropriate to try to hook in on the same one, or two paths. I don't think they're gonna, I don't think there's any way that it gets involved with mixing up at this stage between the oversight and the professional organization viewpoints.
And my apologies, and this is not to get us off track, but while you talk about a special meeting, and then also what DCP is planning, last year they'd put forward a piece on peer review, and we understand what they were trying to do. The language just didn't do that. So we worked with Gary, who came and spoke to the group from the AICPA last year, and we've got a great draft to start from, and that we should be able to have finished. I was thinking November, but there's no reason why I can't move that timeline up while we've got the expertise from the AICPA on how the peer review program works and what language works or doesn't, because he's retiring in December. So if we could add that to the list of things, that would be great.
I think we should. I mean, it seems like a lot of time, to get it on from November, but I don't think it's that simple to get something for the departments to get something on the agenda for the legislature, particularly for a short season. So if things that had to be addressed were earlier, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Kat, I think that would moving forward make sense. Any other meetings that we have, like with members of the committee or whatever, as long as we're below a quorum, we don't have to do that. Obviously, we can't take action. We'd have to go through a full committee meeting for that.
Yes, we could certainly schedule a special meeting before October 1st.
Okay. I think that then we won't have a repeat of what we had last year. Cat disappeared. Nope, just muted. Your picture went, Cat.
Yes, hi, I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay, back to Tim.
Yep. So maybe just looking at timing, maybe sometime the week of that of the 22nd, I'd propose, if maybe Kat or Rachel can caucus availability. By then, I think, Danny and Pete and I would have, connected on this and looked through the data and, come back to the committee with some additional information and maybe a recommendation on moving this thing forward.
Yes, we will
That's
caucus and
Okay.
schedule a meeting. Thank you.
Great, thank you. That's all I had, John. Oh, you're on mute again.
Remember, you took
There you
over business this time. If you want it back, then we can go into the waiver requests.
Okay, great. The first item, I believe, is Sabani Singh. Not sure how to
Mhm.
pronounce her name. I don't think it's necessary. She is exempt from CPEs for the first thing. So I responded to her and she has not responded back. So I believe a vote is not necessary.
Okay. And if it does turn out,
Yes, we can always revisit. So the
yeah,
second.
we can always pick it up in the special meeting.
Correct.
Rajat Krishnan Gulab.
Right. So you saw, his request and so I wrote to him, I believe it's him, last week, asking to clarify why he deserves, why he believes that a waiver is warranted since he is going to be a senior manager of audit and assurance. And so he responded, and I forwarded to the board this morning. I believe basically he is saying that it's the hardship of international relocating. So he's asking for the 2 years to be waived.
But
But
I don't understand how that's a hardship. That would mandate,
Where moving takes 2 years.
And we see that he's taking courses. He just didn't get enough of them, but it seems like something that he should do in the normal course of his work, whether it's in Toronto or Connecticut.
Yeah, he's
I
with
would
Deloitte. He's with Deloitte Canada. I would assume that they're providing CPE regardless for him.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically it's firm policy that you have to get your 40 hours in every year, so that doesn't quite make sense.
Correct.
It's all online, right?
Especially at his level.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, any suggestions?
Yes, I'll make a motion to deny his request.
I'll second.
Oh, can I just ask one question? Actually, I'm in favor of the motion, but what if we vote to deny his request? What is the outcome of that? Kat?
so the outcome is it's still September. He will still have until the end of the year to finish the 40 hours. So if he's late, then he just pays the late fee, so whatever it is. I believe since he has many already, he could already be in compliance, but I don't know why he's asking for a waiver.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I handed it over to Tim and then I took it away. So, go ahead. Sorry, old habits.
Oh, you want me to go
Yeah, if you
forward on
wouldn't
this?
mind.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nay? None? Okay, the ayes have it. Motion is passed. Pull up the agenda here. Who's next? Is it Papalardo?
Correct. So you have the extension request in front of you with the reason. I don't have any more than that. Basically, he's asking to extend his CPEs until October 21st. But the reason that he had to sell his house, he moved, he's 80 years old.
80, wow.
And still practicing.
Yeah, he wasn't sure if he would continue, and then he decided to continue, so.
Yikes.
I'd
We have a
make
lot of
motion-
members in that.
I'd make a motion to approve his request for extension.
I'll second.
We have a second? Okay. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any against?
Is it Pete? I'm against him.
Okay. One against. Looks like the ayes have it. The motion is passed. I think is that it on the CP extensions, Pat, there, or Kat? There were none other added? Okay,
Correct.
right. It looks like there's an exam credit extension request by Noelle Brown.
Yes, Noelle Brown, she requested to extend her FAR credit from June 30th till the end of the year for medical reasons, and that was forwarded to you. To the board, I mean.
Hmm.
So it looks like she's looking for an extension request based on medical
Correct.
condition. She does have like there was a note from her doctor.
Correct.
Would anyone like to entertain? I'd entertain a motion. Would anyone like to make a motion? For Noelle's request, she's looking for an extension through, let me see here,
December 31st.
December 31st. Someone like to make a motion for?
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Okay, thank you, Danny. We have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Carla. Any discussion? No matter if not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, any nays? Okay, the ayes have it. Extension is passed.
So the next two are were added to the agenda this morning. The first one is Adisa Hadzik. Her request came in very late, like I got it this morning. She's requesting for 3 credits to be extended, though it's I don't understand her request because I went on her dashboard and I saw only 1 credit that she has. She only has the FAR credit that she took in November of 2021, and it expired June 30th. But she's asking for her FAR, her AUD, and her BEC to be extended. But the dashboard doesn't show that she has 80 AUD or BEC credits. So I didn't have sufficient time to look into more details. I did look her dashboard very carefully, but it takes some digging. Maybe she did something that doesn't show. I have to follow with NASFA. But in the meantime, if the board wants to approve her FAR credit, then that can be done and we can, schedule for her next credits at a later time.
Does it show that she's sat for those other 2? Maybe she's just anticipating passing them?
Not recently. it
No?
shows
Okay.
she sat and failed all the
Okay.
other three since 2012. Like she sat a lot. And her notice to sit expired a lot too. So it just, that's why
Okay.
her dashboard has like 4 pages long, which is very unusual. But yeah, but so far the only credits that shows that she has any credits for is the FAR.
That you said expired when? I'm sorry.
Expired June.
June. Okay. So should we ask her potentially to revise her request to be what she actually has available to extend?
We
Since
could,
it's
but we don't need to. I mean, she doesn't need to revise it. You can approve,
just a
individually.
piece. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't want us to blanketly say, okay, and then
Yeah.
she takes that as, something different than what we intended.
Is this just a matter of communication so that she can say, you've already got this? We don't need to take any action?
Correct. So basically, if you approve it, I will contact NASPA and say the board extended this credit for this time, and the others, they don't matter basically. And I can follow up with her. I can follow up with NASPA to clarify, and then we can go back for more.
Can I just ask, you're saying the credit that you're potentially extending is already expired, correct?
Correct.
So does it matter? I mean, can we just table this and have her resubmit with the right information? And, because if it's already expired and we're going to kind of bring it back to life, whether we do that this month or next month, does it really matter, or in 2 months?
Correct, we could do that. You're right. That's a good point. And she only has 1 credit, right, that I could see. So it's not like she can take 3,
In 2
Like the
months, it's
next-
not like in 2
Yeah.
months she's going to be licensed if we do nothing today.
Correct.
So I'd be inclined to make a motion to, we're not really denying her application. We're asking her to, I'd make a motion to ask her to amend her application to reflect actual credits needing an extension. And if it turns out to be 1 or 3, we'll take that up in 2 months.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor? Or any discussion rather? No discussion? Okay. Any nays? Okay. The ayes have it. Motion's passed.
Thank
Kat,
you.
was there one other?
Yeah,
added?
the last
Okay.
one is Hitesh at Madnani. He's requesting to extend his AUD and BEC from December of this year until March 31st. So he's asking for a 3 months extension. And the reason is good cause. And he forwarded, a medical reason for his infant who's in the ICU. And so in May, the board extended his AUD from June to December. At that time, it was a difficult pregnancy, and now the baby's born, but the baby will be in ICU for 6 months. But anyway, so his record shows that he does have AUD and BEC, which both are scheduled to expire December 15th. And then he did pass the regulations, which expires in 2027. So the only thing he has left is FAR, and he does have a notice to sit. So it's active. He's actively, taking it, and that expires October 15th, the notice to sit for the exam.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay. Got a second from Bud. And any discussion?
Kat, could you
On
just
this-
clarify what,
Yeah.
it seems like we addressed this back in May, or was there? I'm trying to
No,
understand.
Back in May, it
Yes.
was a difficult pregnancy. I don't think the birth had yet taken place, and then it
Okay,
ended up being a premature,
okay, all right. So
which,
then we extended it in May once, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
okay. So, we voted. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? Hearing none. The motion is passed. Grant the extension. So I think that's it for extension requests. Is that right, Kat? Okay,
Correct.
great. All right, moving on to our last item for new business. Looks like there were 3 settlement agreements.
Correct.
Sharon,
there-
yeah.
Sure, there are 3 settlement agreements. The first 2 are similar, so I'll discuss them together. They're not related, but they are very similar. 2025-30 with Christina Cernick and 2025-25 Timothy Gaydosh. They both basically practiced without a firm permit for a few years. They both formed their own, firm. And then they operated solo and they didn't know that a firm permit was required. And so basically for a few years. So in both cases, we settled for the respondent to be censored and fined $1,000.
Okay, and I think these are similar matters in the past, similar recommendations in terms of the
Correct.
the outcomes. Okay, great. Okay, I entertain a motion for these 2 settlement agreements to accept.
I'll also move to accept.
I'll second.
Okay, John, thank you. Robert,
I get to for the first time in 10 years.
all right, look at that. Any discussion on these? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ayes, okay. Any against? Hearing none, the motion is passed. And they're
Thank you.
accepted.
So the last one is George Major III. This came in the form of a complaint. Basically, Mr. Major was a tax accountant who did taxes for a person, Robert Sexton, for many, many years. Mr. Sexton died, and so the respondent handled the estate. However, he failed to prepare and file for 2021 taxes for the estate. And he also failed to return tax documents. Basically, the estate's lawyer kept, contacting him, asking him to return tax documents. But the respondent didn't deny any of the allegations. He stated that he encountered extreme hardship for several years, including a divorce involving young children. He had COVID several times, his mother's passing, and the unexpected passing of his long-term employee and his right-hand man who handled everything in the firm. And so he said, basically, he lost documents. He couldn't find them, and he was too embarrassed to admit it. And so he was very apologetic, and he offered to pay for any interest or penalties that the estate encountered, but I don't believe there were any. And so basically, he has straightened out his firm in the meantime. And so we enter into a settlement agreement where he is censored and he is fined $1,000.
Okay.
Kat, were there any other complaints regarding this individual and his firm that you've received?
No, there was none.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion on the proposed settlement.
I'll make a motion to accept and approve the proposed settlement.
Okay, thank you, Danny.
This is Pete. I'll second that.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Any further discussion or questions on this one? Hearing none. Put it up for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any against? Hearing none. Motion is passed and the settlement is accepted.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Kat. Just those 3, right?
Correct.
Good. Okay. Right, that puts an end to the new business section. Any comments or concerns of any person present today? I see Bonnie's gone. One thing
I'm here.
oh, you are there. Sorry.
I'm
Maybe
so
it's not the
sorry,
full
I put
screen.
it on
Robert
mute.
Day.
I'm only on my phone, so.
Got it. Well, any other comments or questions from anyone?
Could you remind the board members about the meeting and the NASPA meeting in October?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Kat. Very good. Yeah, so and John's aware of this. We had a regional call, the Northeast region, a couple of weeks ago, and they reminded us that NASBA's changed their policy to permit up to 2 scholarships for board members to attend the upcoming annual meeting. It's going to be held in Chicago. Let me get the dates here. I will
October
be there.
25th, October 25th to the 27th.
Actually, 26th. It's the Sunday. 26th through the 29th is what I have. So it's a Sunday, it starts Sunday evening. You arrive on Sunday in Chicago. There's a reception, and the meetings are Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning. And you can fly home on Wednesday. But NASBA will waive the registration fee, and they also reimburse for the hotel and airfare and out of pocket. So it would be great. I'll be there, hosting as the regional director for the Northeast.
Thank you.
So there are 2 additional scholarships that are available for Connecticut, and would just like to throw it out to the entire board. I know, Bud, you've been to an annual meeting when it was in New York. Robert, you've come to a meeting. So Hare was at the regional meeting this past year. So if any of you do want to attend, if you just express interest, and again, up
What
to
were the
2.
dates? What were the dates again?
It's October 26th. So you'd arrive on the 26th in Chicago. There's a reception in the evening, and then the meetings are on the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning. And you could fly home on Wednesday afternoon. So if you want to think about it, please do, but it'd be great to get Connecticut representation. We always have someone from New York is there. New Hampshire's been very active. On occasion, we get someone from Maine. So not all the states have participated, but we're trying to encourage that more. And I think NASBA is doing that by offering the scholarships, particularly for the states where we just don't have budget. I mean, that's the reality of it. And it's been a challenge to get board members to go when there's no budget, but they're trying to make things easier. So if you have interest, please reach out to me, to Kat. We'll put you in touch with the right people at NASBA, and we'll get things coordinated.
Right. I just wanted to mention that by state laws, we can't reimburse you for your expense from your house to the airport. So, in the past, I have asked NASBA to cover that, and they did. But anyway, in their scholarship, they don't cover your home state transportation. And by state law, we can't reimburse that. The state can't reimburse that, but maybe NASBA would.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else to bring up? Oh, one thing I was going to say is so Hare and I thought she was going to join. She's not here right now, but years ago.
She is.
I'm here.
Oh, you are. So Hare. Hey, sorry. For some reason I've seen 9 screens and I'm not aware of everyone else that's on. So many years ago, and John and Danny and Pete will remember this. We had done our a newsletter, out to Connecticut CPAs, just covering various topics. And, one was just introducing the members of the board, talking about reminders around CPE and any other matters, as an example, we have the new pathway, just pulling everything together in a cohesive communication that gets sent out. And NASBA is the one that facilitates that with many of the other boards, and they facilitated that with us back a number of years ago. And we were just at the regional meeting, and they were sharing that. And so Hare and I were talking about maybe considering leveraging NASBA again to assist us in getting some communications out. We can decide how often that is, but that's something I think we'd like to do, and wanted to get the board's view on that as well. And if everyone's agreeable with it, Kat can't actually do this, but she can facilitate getting the information that we need to share with NASBA to then pull something together for us. But that's something that the board thinks would be advisable and have some interest in having us do.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea too.
Okay. All right, good. So why don't Hare, you and I can maybe separately chat on this, and Kat, maybe we'll get in touch with NASBA, find out. I don't know if it's Cassandra Gray who helps facilitate these sort of things, and then we can ask you to pull some information together and try to get moving on that. Maybe get something out over the next month or two.
Okay, of course, whatever you
Okay.
need.
Okay, good.
Tim, did that go out to just licensees, or was there some other?
I think
guess
it
I'm
was
trying-
all I got to go back to see to whom it was addressed, but I'm pretty sure it was the licensee database, maybe licensed or registered CPAs within the state.
Okay. Just wondering if there's a way to address like people taking the exam kind of a thing, because I feel like with all these different pathways, maybe it would be, I don't know. We're talking
Yeah.
about the pipeline
Yeah.
issue or whatever. Can we?
Yeah,
somehow-
yeah. No, it's a good point, Pete. We'll also check with NASBA, like what are the other states doing? Like who are they
Yeah.
sending it to? And then if we can do the same, if we think that's advisable, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we might need NASBA's help with candidates because they don't apply to the state. So we don't have that, the contact addresses for those people.
Okay. All right, we can do that then.
If I may, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to add, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but perhaps we can also add the colleges and universities that offer accounting programs to the listserv, so they're in the loop with respect to any changes in pathways and other areas.
Yeah, I think that's great. And that's back to Pete's point around this as well. Like if we can get, access to those emails and to be able to communicate that, we'll see how the other states are doing that. But I got to imagine, expanding it to a broader group, such as the prospects, is very key as well.
Yeah.
This is Bonnie. I know that a number of state societies get the information regarding candidates, et cetera, through their state board who requests it from NASBA. So according to NASBA, you, the State Board of Accountancy, own that data. They will not give it directly to the states. It's something that we've tried to do to try to encourage people who are in the exam process to, find out if they want to participate in a free support group or things like that. And we can't get, it was actually going to be one of my asks, but I forgot. I'm still not quite caught up with the early hour I'm at right now. But I do know that you can request that data from from NASBA.
From NASBA.
And then we could actually get it from you too, to try to help with those candidates. Some of the states have been very successful in saying who's done, for example, 2 tests, but all of a sudden is not doing anything, or 3 tests, and try to get them back into the fold. So I think anything you can do with candidates would be really helpful, because they're not a group that's reached out to often, just because who has access to that data now is so limited.
Got it. Okay. That's a good point, Will.
So Bonnie, I know last year there was a big push getting out to the high schools by the CTCPA. Is there going to be a new push this year to talk about the changes in the pathways so that, you know, high school seniors know that they don't have to take that extra year and all of that?
So we're doing two things. One, we're still doing the get out and talk to students whenever we can, whether it be at the college level or the high school level. We have a pretty broad group of people that have volunteered to be part of our, we call it Speakers Bureau. November is Accounting Opportunities Month. And during that month, we really try to make sure we've got somebody in the school every day other than Saturday or Sunday to make sure that people are getting out in front of their, I think Junior Achievement did a test that showed that if you are in person in front of a student talking to them about your career, that they are 50% more likely to go into that career than not. So it does make a big, big difference. For the high school students, we did go back and look at the data we had to try to make sure we could update who the accounting teachers were in the high school. That's a little bit more challenging. And so we have updated that list and we're reaching out to them now. And we do have a request in to modify our bylaws to allow for high school membership. We're just trying to figure out what that would entail. But the feel is that if we could have higher profile at the high school, then more people would be likely to go into the professions. Just a lot of people don't know about it. They may hear CPA, but they don't know what's involved. So yes, we do have a major effort. It's run by Brian Riley. He's the chair of our pipeline task force, and he's the former chief auditor at Travelers.
Okay.
And he's also the former chair of the society. So we're working on it, and it's difficult. And the thing is, though, that there's
Yeah.
a lot of opportunities, and how you can touch people makes a real difference depending on who you've got information on or not. So right now we can only work through schools unless someone is a candidate, one of our members, and so they've joined as a professional colleague. That's the reason why I could not be happier to hear that you're thinking about reaching out to candidates. Because if you get that data, we can get that data too, and we can start really trying to increase the awareness of the profession, the opportunities that are available to people in terms of free prep courses and a lot of other things that they just don't know about if they're not connected with us currently.
Good, good. And Connie, this Accounting Opportunities Month, is that's specific to your program with the Connecticut CPAs? It's not National Accounting Opportunities Month that,
You know, they should call it National Accounting Opportunities Month, but they don't. But I will tell you that all the state societies have coordinated, and we do it every November. It started off as Accounting Opportunities Week, and it's gotten changed to month. And I would tell you that I'm going to say all but maybe 6 states do it in November. We figure the more that do it, the better splash we'll have in the press and opportunities to increase awareness, but it's not called national yet. AICPA is heavily involved as well. They're very good about producing materials for us to give to educators and to students, but it should be called national. It's not yet, but the governor's been good. He gives us a proclamation every year to, get the word out, gives us the opportunity for a press release, etc. But we definitely are looking for more opportunities to increase awareness.
Okay.
There's another group too, and I don't know whether they connect with the DCP or state board, but Accounting Plus is a great organization that puts out a lot of information for candidates, and they're going lower and lower because they say the decision to be what somebody wants to be happens much earlier than college in most cases. So I'd say if you have an opportunity to connect there and include some of that information, NASBA is connected with them.
Yeah, good, good. Okay, well, thank you for that update. I mean, it's important to address this pipeline issue, and all of these initiatives are meant to help out with that, and that's just good for the profession and good for the public interest as well. So thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, So again, I'll open it up. Any other questions or comments before we adjourn today's meeting? All right. Well, hearing none, just a quick reminder, Kat will be reaching out. We'll find a date that works, possibly that last week of September. So keep a lookout for that email. Hopefully we can find one that works for everyone and reconvene on the accounting concentration and any other matters. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay,
I second.
second. All right. We got a motion and a second. I don't think any discussion is allowed per
Correct.
John's previous guidance. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None against,
Bye,
I
everybody.
see. Great. Well, thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time, and we'll be in touch in a couple of weeks or so.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Ken.
Stay
Thank
well,
you.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.